We all know Jennifer Aniston, right? America's sweetheart, the icon from Friends, the woman who seems to have it all. But what if I told you that behind that dazzling smile and effortless charm is a story of incredible resilience, a story that even some of her own family didn't see coming? Today, we're not just talking about her fame or her movies. We're diving deep into the untold story of the one person who underestimated her most, and how Jennifer proved everyone, especially her doubters, wrong. Stick around, because this story will change the way you see her forever. Jennifer's journey to stardom wasn't a walk in the park. Long before she was Rachel Green, she was just Jen, a girl with a big dream in a family of actors. You'd think having famous parents would be a golden ticket, right? Well, not exactly. Her father, John Aniston, was a well-known soap opera star, and her mother, Nancy Dow, was an actress and model. But this legacy cast a long shadow, creating immense pressure. From a young age, Jennifer felt she had to live up to an almost impossible standard. Her relationship with her mother, Nancy, was particularly complex and, at times, incredibly painful. Nancy was famously critical of Jennifer, often focusing on her appearance and what she perceived as her shortcomings. Imagine trying to build your confidence when your own mother is your harshest critic. This wasn't just typical mother-daughter friction. It was a constant battle that deeply affected Jennifer's self-esteem. Now, let's talk about the aunt in our story. While we're using aunt as a figure of speech, it represents a very real and powerful force in Jennifer's life. Her own mother, Nancy Dow. Nancy's criticism felt less like motherly advice and more like a constant stream of doubt. She reportedly told Jennifer she wasn't pretty enough, that her face was too big, and that she would never make it in Hollywood. This wasn't a one-time comment. It was a narrative Jennifer grew up with. In her 1999 memoir, Nancy herself detailed her critical nature, confirming much of what Jennifer had experienced. This constant undermining from the person who should have been her biggest cheerleader was a monumental hurdle. It wasn't just underestimation. It was an active campaign of doubt that could have crushed anyone's spirit. But it didn't crush Jennifer's. Instead, it planted a seed of defiance. So, how does a young woman, constantly told she's not good enough, find the strength to become one of the most beloved actresses in the world? The answer lies in her incredible inner resolve. Jennifer made a conscious decision. She could either internalize her mother's criticism and let it define her, or she could use it as fuel. She chose fuel. She channeled all that hurt and frustration into her work. She took acting classes, went to countless auditions, and faced rejection after rejection, which is standard for any aspiring actor. But for Jennifer, each no was just an echo of the doubt she'd heard her whole life. Instead of breaking her, it made her more determined to prove them all wrong. She developed a thick skin and a work ethic that was second to none. She knew that the only way to silence the critics, especially the one at home, was through undeniable success. This wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming her own narrative and proving her own worth to herself. And then came Friends. It's hard to overstate the cultural explosion that show created. When Jennifer Aniston was cast as Rachel Green, it wasn't just a big break. It was a life-altering event. Suddenly, the woman who was told she wasn't pretty enough was being hailed as a style icon. The Rachel haircut became a global phenomenon. Her comedic timing, her vulnerability, her charm, it all resonated with millions of people. She wasn't just playing a character. She was connecting with an entire generation. With every laugh she earned and every heart she touched, she was dismantling the negative image her mother had tried to build. Friends didn't just give her fame and fortune. It gave her a platform to show the world, and perhaps more importantly, her family, who she truly was. A talented, charismatic, and powerful woman. The success was so massive, so undeniable, that it completely silenced the whispers of doubt. She had arrived, and she had done it entirely on her own terms. But the story doesn't end with professional success. Jennifer's true strength was tested in the glare of the public eye, especially when her marriage to Brad Pitt ended. The world watched, dissected, and took sides. She was painted as a victim, the poor Jen of every tabloid cover. It was a deeply personal heartbreak played out on a global stage. The pressure was immense, but Jennifer refused to play the victim. In interviews, she handled the intrusive questions with a grace and dignity that was truly remarkable. She spoke about hurt and healing, but she never wallowed in self-pity. She focused on her work, her friendships, and her own well-being. She showed the world that a woman's worth is not defined by her relationship status. By navigating one of the most public breakups in history with such poise, she transformed from America's sweetheart into a symbol of resilience. She taught an entire generation of women that you can emerge from heartbreak stronger, more independent, and more in control of your own happiness than ever before. In the years that followed, Jennifer's career continued to flourish. She didn't just rest on her friends' laurels. She took risks. She founded her own production company, Echo Films, giving her more creative control and a voice behind the camera. She chose roles that challenged her, moving from romantic comedies to gritty dramas like Cake, for which she received Golden Globe and SAG Award nominations. This move was crucial. It proved she was more than just Rachel Green. She was a serious, versatile actress with incredible range. This wasn't just about expanding her portfolio. It was about proving her talent on her own terms, free from the box Hollywood tried to put her in. She became a producer, a savvy businesswoman, and a respected dramatic actress. She demonstrated that her initial success was no fluke. It was the result of talent, hard work, and a relentless drive to keep growing and evolving as an artist. So, what happened with her mother, Nancy? For years, their relationship was estranged. Jennifer didn't invite her mother to her wedding to Brad Pitt, a painful decision that spoke volumes about the depth of their rift. But time, as it often does, brings perspective. Before Nancy passed away in 2016, Jennifer reconnected with her. In interviews, she's spoken about forgiveness. She came to understand that her mother's criticisms stemmed from her own insecurities and her own difficult life. Jennifer chose to let go of the anger and embrace a sense of peace. She said, "It's all fine. You can't hold on to that resentment. It's so toxic." This act of forgiveness is perhaps the most profound display of her strength. It's one thing to succeed in spite of someone's doubt. It's another thing entirely to find peace and forgive them. It shows a level of emotional maturity and inner strength that is truly inspiring. Jennifer Aniston's story is so much more than a Hollywood success story. It's a powerful lesson in turning pain into power. She took the negativity she faced, not as a verdict, but as motivation. She reminds us that the voices of doubt, whether they come from family, from society, or from within ourselves, do not have to define our reality. Our resilience, our work ethic, and our capacity for grace under pressure are what truly shape our destiny. She has shown us that you can be heartbroken and still be whole. You can be criticized and still be confident. You can face immense public scrutiny and still maintain your dignity and your sense of self. Her journey is a masterclass in building a life not on the expectations of others, but on the foundation of your own inner strength. So, the next time you see Jennifer Aniston on screen, remember the story behind the smile. Remember the girl who was told she'd never make it, and the woman who built an empire by refusing to believe it. Her legacy isn't just a collection of movies or a famous haircut. It's a testament to the incredible power of the human spirit to overcome, to thrive, and to forgive. She didn't just prove her doubters wrong. She created a life that was bigger and more beautiful than they could have ever imagined. And that is the true measure of her strength. Thank you so much for watching today. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Let me know in the comments what you find most inspiring about Jennifer Aniston's journey. We'll see you in the next video.